elected President and Vice President of the United States, each for a term beginning on the 20th day of January 2025, and shall be entered together with the list of the votes on the journals of the House and the Senate. Thank you very much.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping moments in recent political history, something that had everyone talking and left the room buzzing. We're breaking down the unexpected scene that unfolded when Vice President Kamala Harris officially announced the 2024 Electoral College results, and the reaction from GOP members that left the internet stunned. Trust me, you don't want to miss this one, so stick around until the end. The year is 2025. America stands at a crossroads. The political chasm separating its people seems wider than ever. We've just witnessed one of the most contentious elections in our nation's history. The scars of that battle are still fresh, the wounds still raw. The 2024 presidential election was not for the faint of heart. It was a brutal slugfest from start to finish. On one side stood former President Donald J. Trump, a man who needs no introduction. He was seeking a return to the White House after 4 years away. His supporters, a sea of red hats and unwavering loyalty, saw him as a savior. They believed he was the only one who could make America great again. On the other side was Vice President Kamala Harris. She was the Democratic nominee, the first woman of color to lead a major party ticket. Her supporters, a diverse coalition of progressives and moderates, hoped for a more inclusive and equitable America. The campaigns were relentless, the rhetoric often toxic. Social media became a battleground of misinformation and vitriol. Friends and families found themselves divided, their political differences creating seemingly insurmountable walls. Election day came and went, but the tension only grew. The results were close, excruciatingly so. For days the nation held its breath as votes were counted and recounted. Legal challenges were mounted and dismissed. The uncertainty was palpable, the anxiety thick enough to cut with a knife. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, a winner emerged. The United States Capitol, January 6, 2025. The air crackled with anticipation. This wasn't just another day in Washington, D.C. It was a day etched in history, a day where the very soul of American democracy felt on edge. The eyes of the nation, indeed of the world, were fixed on the hallowed halls of Congress. Inside the House chamber, lawmakers gathered, their faces etched with a mixture of solemnity and apprehension. The weight of the moment hung heavy in the air. This was the day for the official certification of the Electoral College votes, the day the winner of the 2024 presidential election would be formally declared. But this was no ordinary election, and this would be no ordinary certification. Vice President Kamala Harris, her expression stoic, presided over the proceedings. She, of all people, understood the gravity of the task before her. Just a few months earlier, she had been on the campaign trail, fighting tooth and nail for the very office she was now tasked with handing to her opponent. The room was a sea of faces, a tapestry of emotions. Democrats sat in stunned silence, their hopes dashed, their dreams deferred. Republicans, their faces a mixture of elation and relief, prepared to welcome their standard-bearer back to the White House. The tension was palpable, a living, breathing entity that filled every corner of the chamber. A hush fell over the chamber as Vice President Harris prepared to speak. The weight of expectation hung heavy in the air, suffocating almost. She took a deep breath, her eyes scanning the assembled lawmakers before settling on a point somewhere beyond the cameras, somewhere beyond the walls of the Capitol itself. The Electoral College, she began, her voice steady, controlled, having cast 312 votes for Donald J. Trump. Before she could utter another word, a wave of sound erupted from the Republican side of the aisle. Applause, thunderous and sustained, filled the chamber, drowning out the remainder of her sentence. It was a spontaneous outburst, a visceral reaction to the realization that their champion, the man who had become a symbol of their hopes and aspirations, would once again occupy the Oval Office. The applause spread like wildfire, engulfing the chamber, spilling out into the hallways, out onto the streets of Washington, and out across the nation. It was a sound that spoke volumes, a sound that carried with it the hopes and anxieties of a nation deeply divided. On the Democratic side of the aisle, the applause was met with stunned silence. Some lawmakers simply stared straight ahead, their faces betraying a mixture of disbelief and disappointment. Others shook their heads slowly as if struggling to comprehend the magnitude of what they had just witnessed. Still, others could be seen wiping away tears, their expressions a reflection of the deep sense of loss that had settled over them. The applause eventually subsided, replaced by an uneasy quiet. Vice President Harris, her composure unbroken, finished her announcement, formally declaring Donald J. Trump the winner of the 2024 presidential election. The moment was historic, unprecedented, and deeply unsettling. It was a stark reminder of the deep divisions that plagued American society. Divisions that seemed to have only widened in the years since Trump's first tumultuous presidency. As the world watched, the question on everyone's mind was this: what did this moment mean for the future of American democracy? Could a nation so deeply divided ever truly be united? Could the wounds of this election ever truly heal? The answers to these questions, like so much else in American politics, remained frustratingly elusive. One thing, however, was certain: the road ahead would be anything but easy. The challenges facing the nation were immense, and the stakes could not have been higher. The future of American democracy, it seemed, hung precariously in the balance. So there you have it, the moment that shook the chamber and set the tone for what's shaping up to be another tumultuous chapter in American politics. What's your take? Did the GOP's reaction go too far, or was it just democracy at work? Drop a comment and let me know, and don't forget, if you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you don't miss out on any of the action. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.